My name is Victor Campos, and today I'm going to be presenting a policy proposal to improve the United States border security system. This plan will address growing threats, inefficiencies along the southern border and proposes a realistic, humane, and constitutionally sound strategy to both secure the nation's and uphold American values. It acknowledges the complex realities at the border and focuses on creating a sustainable, long-term solution. Our approach ensures that we do not compromise the foundational rights and freedoms that define our nation. This proposal is the result of a careful assessment of security needs, humanitarian concerns, and policy gaps. Ultimately, it is a balanced and actionable roadmap to restore order and efficiency at the border. So current challenges that we're facing, cartel exploitation of weak points, inconsistent enforcement and patchwork policy, and overwhelmed southern border facilities. With recent change of presidents, we do see a bit of inconsistent enforcement. From, for lack of better terms, President Trump is a more heavily enforced idea, but it does take away some human accessibility, you could say. And Biden's enforcement, I feel, really engages with the illegal immigrants. And so the U.S. southern border faces logistical and structural strain. Border Patrol and ICE facilities are overcrowded. The asylum process is backlogged by years. Constant changes in immigration enforcement policy reduce consistency and effectiveness. This comes with change of presidents and overall how they choose to kind of deal with this situation, as it is a big one, letting people into our country. And criminal groups are profiting from this disarray, using human smuggling as a major revenue source. These systematic failures also damage public confidence in our ability to maintain order. Without comprehensive reform, the strain on our border will continue to increase, leading to further humanitarian and security crises. And so, our three primary objectives to balance security with fairness is proposing targeted enforcement paired with increased access to lawful immigration routes. The smarter our policies, the less incentive people have to cross illegally. And when people are treated with respect, we uphold our democratic values. These are people too. Although they may be from different countries, if they truly are looking for something greater than what they can find in their country, they should be able to come into our country. These goals are designed to reduce disorder while preserving our moral obligations. With better data and smarter planning, we can proactively address migration trends before they escalate into emergencies. With the policy objectives, so moving forward with border technology upgrades, instead of relying solely on physical walls, this proposal embraces a smart border model, you could say, by integrating sensors, drones, and artificial intelligence, which continuously, day by day, is upgrading. Border agents can detect suspicious activity without needing to be everywhere at once. It is impossible to constantly be scouring over every single inch of the wall, as there is public videos on social media, and it's very well known that it's not the hardest thing to just go in between the wall that we have built. Upgraded inspection tools at ports of entry will enhance detection of illicit goods and improve efficiency for legitimate travelers and commerce. This kind of infrastructure investment reduces human error and increases situational awareness. A modern technology framework also deters criminal actors who rely on exploiting system weaknesses. So for the border technology upgrades, we would like to fund maintenance of ports of entry, integrate the AI for real-time detection, and then expand surveillance, drones, cameras, and sensors. So moving on, we have increase and train agents. Personnel are the backbone of border security, but current staff are overburdened and under-supported. Recruiting more trained officers and asylum staff will speed up the processing and reduce burnout of these employees. High-quality training ensures professional conduct, especially in high-stress interactions with vulnerable populations. Investing in workforce well-being will also reduce turnover and improve morale. A strong, motivated, and well-trained team is essential to executing any border policy efficiently. So, as mentioned before, enhance training in human rights and de-escalation. Hire 4,000 to 5,000 new border agents and asylum agents. Very large number, but this is a pretty high maintenance, high emergency that we do definitely need to be working on. And this would improve the morale and working conditions. So moving on to streamline legal immigration. People don't risk everything to come here illegally when viable legal options exist. Expanding temporary work programs and processing sectors in Latin America lets migrants apply safely and legally. Digital systems can reduce paperwork errors and prevent years-long delays in asylum cases. These changes would relieve pressure on the southern border and offer humane alternatives to dangerous crossings. A transparent and predictable legal system restores credibility and reduces opportunity for exploitation. So what we'd like to do is expand work for visa programs, reform our asylum processing, and then develop regional processing hubs in Latin America. So now, a little bit more of what we need to be targeting when we come into this area are cartels. Cartels, as we know, are a big way of people in Mexico specifically are coming into the country, not entirely for a bad purpose. I mean, we know that people are coming into the country to find better work for themselves, to help support their families. We know that there is good in what the cartel is doing essentially, but the cartel's motivation for this is money. So cartels are exploiting migrants and flooding the U.S. with fentanyl and other dangerous drugs. We need a full spectrum response: financials, operation, and diplomatic. Joint task forces with Mexico and Central American countries will improve tracking, integration, and prosecution. Although this may be hard, as we know, with the current president, building a relationship with Mexico would help us catch these cartel members and try to resolve this issue that we are consistently going with, as not only are these cartels terrorizing Mexico, but they are also, as mentioned before, getting in very dangerous drugs and bringing illegal immigrants into the United States. Smuggling routes must be mapped, monitored, and disrupted systematically. Targeting their financial infrastructure is key to dismantling operations long term. A big thing, as I mentioned previously, is the cartel's main objective for this is going for money. They are not doing this in the sense of that they feel it is right. They are strictly doing it for money. Humanitarian protection, which is a very big thing that I feel President Biden has integrated very successfully. We must treat every migrant with basic dignity, especially children and asylum seekers fleeing violence. Expanding shelter capacity and providing essential Medicare and humanitarian support is not just ethical, it's a smart policy that will reduce chaos and help our agents as well. It improves process outcoming as well. Enhanced humanitarian resources also prevent tragic outcomes like illness or death in custody. These services ensure that vulnerable individuals are processed fairly and safely. So, as mentioned, improve medical screens and aids to kind of help these people who are in custody, and then increase shelter capacity near the border, support NGOs providing humanitarian services. Cost and feasibility. Though the plan has a cost, it will reduce the billions we currently spend on reactive detention, court delays, and failed deterrence. Much of the funding can come from relocating unused defense budgets. As we know, the defense budget is an overwhelmingly amount of money, and improving collection of visa oversight penalties. These investments also generate long-term savings through efficiency and reduce recidivism. Physical responsibility and national security can and must coexist. The estimated cost would be around $6 to $8 billion that would be taken from the American defense budget system that goes through unused things. This would be funded unused defenses. Long-term savings by reducing legal crossing detention costs. The legal and constitutional alignment. The long-term solution. This policy is grounded in U.S. and international law. It protects people's rights to seek asylum, guarantees legal counsel, and ensures that all enforcement activity is subject to oversight and accountability. Any breaches of protocol must be investigated and prosecuted. This plan reinforces our commitment to constitutional integrity. So the long-term vision. The long-term solution isn't just more walls or more arrests. It's economic development, regional collaboration, and smarter immigration laws. Border security is strongest when it supports, not undermines, our global partnerships and economic goals. We must work with neighboring countries to address the root cause of migration. Sustainable solutions require consistent investment and mutual trust. So, looking at the long-term vision, we have balanced border management, stable legal immigration system, and a regional cooperation and economic development. So, in conclusion, we need a stronger and smarter, more humane border policy. The strategy does not compromise security or compassion, and it is a bold bitarism action. So a secure border and a just immigration system can coexist. We can be firm without being cruel, efficient without being reckless, and lawful without being humane. This plan offers a bipartisan path forward for both security and compassion. It also reflects the values that define the United States: fairness, order, and respect for the rule of law. I encourage both leaders on both sides of the aisle to come together and turn this vision into action. One of the biggest anchors to truly making this work is being able to coexist with our allies. Figuring out why these people are immigrating from different countries and working together with the Mexican government. Just trying to stop these cartels, as the cartels don't only hurt us, but they hurt them as well. I really hope they take my ideas into consideration. I think securing a border for the United States should be number one on the list, as illegal immigrants are not always bad, and I feel that this is really integrated, that people who come to this country illegally are in it to do something bad, but they are really just looking for a way of life. They cannot live in their country, say, there's a war, Ukraine, I need to leave. There is situations, and I do feel that we can't open our arms to individuals that do feel like they need to get out of situations. But we need to figure out how to firmly address these situations. Working with the Mexican government would be number one on my list. We know that the cartel is raking in a lot of money. They also bring in the drugs. Reforming our relationship with the Mexican government would be ideal. So I'd like to thank you for your time. I hope that, once again, you do take everything into consideration. Have a good day.